Everybody's concerned about this, about money. We have employees trying to make as much money as possible. We have employers trying to save as much money as possible and remain profitable. But at this time, because of what is happening all around the country and all around the world, we are now seeing mass layoffs nationwide. I want to explain what's going on and how nobody is safe at this time. So I'll break all this down in just a moment, explain what is going on and what you are likely going to see over the next several months. But before I do, all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now let's begin. There is a lot of financial pain coming very soon. I have multiple comments from people saying that they have just been let go, but it's actually happening at a much larger scale. Look at some of these. It says Amazon layoffs. AI likely to claim 14,000 corporate jobs this year as firm eyes cost cuts. Now, this is just from Amazon. Amazon is expecting AI is going to take 14,000 positions. What about Microsoft? What about Nvidia? What about Meta? What about Google? Or Alphabet, whatever you want to call it? What about all these other tech companies? What about real estate firms? Real estate's getting hit. Realtors are struggling to sell homes. And it's not just realtors, which realtors are struggling and going back to work. They're finding different positions. Not only that, we are actually seeing lenders, brokers, they are struggling, going to find a different job. I talked to a friend of mine just the other week. He plays professional soccer it's not for like a MLS team or a Premier League or a La Liga team or anything like that. He plays in like another division. But he only gets paid $1,500 a month from that team. $1,500 a month. He's a professional athlete, and now he has to go get a different job. Yeah, things are rough. But look at this, because it's actually going to get worse. It says right here, federal layoffs couldn't be coming at a worse time for workers. It's a great time for the entire U.S. economy. Let's cut out the waste, cut out the fraud, cut out the additional spending that we don't need. But for workers, they're figuring out, well, if I don't make money, how am I going to pay for my rent? How can I pay for my mortgage or my car payment? How can I put food on the table? That's what's happening. Listen to this. Somebody wrote to me just the other day and says, and I quote, "So, my boss told me this morning I have two options. I can take a 15% wage cut along with a $10 hour reduction or a 10% hour reduction, or I can be let go. I am now on the clock and have until the end of the week to give my answer. If I lose my job, then unemployment won't be enough to cover my expenses. And if I take the reductions, then I won't have enough either. There really is no upside to either choice, and now I don't know what to do." I said this a couple years ago, that layoffs were coming, that all the benefits that you were receiving, all those promises that, okay, I'll give you a company car, you can have a company credit card. The federal government, just to give you an example, Elon Musk, he made it where federal employees, right now in Washington, D.C., that is where credit card usage is down the most in the entire country. You know why? That's where all the federal employees are at. The federal employees were using federal credit cards in order to buy things. But Elon Musk said, no, you can't do that. You can't just go and pay for your meals every single lunch. We're not going to allow that. Taxpayers aren't paying for that. And guess what? He put a limit that you had to get approval. And I think for even just like a $1 spend, you have to get approval first. Yeah, it's turning into a massive thing. And now workers are furious. They don't want to work for the federal government anymore. All the benefits are gone. Why would I want to work for them? But that's the same thing going on with many corporations around the U.S. But it's not just corporations. Look at this. It says thousands of California teachers are told they're losing their jobs. Teachers are going to be out of jobs very soon. Look at this. It says thousands of teachers in California are losing their job due to the state's budget cuts going into the 2025-2026 school year. It says according to the California Teachers Association, which represents 300,000 school employees. Yeah, they're going to be losing their jobs. Crazy, right? Look at this one. It says the majority of the 2,300 school employees being let go are credentialed school staff, which includes teachers, school nurses, librarians, right? A lot of people. A lot of people are going to be let go. Thousands are going to lose their jobs. But look at this one. It says the Department of Education cuts expected to have huge impacts on teachers. According to reports, they're saying that teachers that could have went to go and or used the federal money to go and help get educated, learn new, get additional training, well, that's gone. Those federal funding is gone. Those grants, done. And so how are these people supposed to stay educated on the new ways to educate our youth? Well, that's the problem. Probably won't. So it's going to be a huge impact there. Look at this one as well. You're talking about nationwide layoffs. Here's another one. Okay, HP plans up to 2,000 layoffs to balance costs amid tariff unknowns. We don't know what the tariffs are going to look like. Everybody is pointing to the April 2nd deadline. President Trump said he's not going to do this on April 1st because it's not an April Fool's joke, but he did say on April 2nd, tariffs will be put in place. And now, guess what? Retailers are concerned. They are laying off people left and right. I talked about this before, how many retailers are closing down. Some are closing, they're changing their hours of operation where they open later, they close earlier simply because people are not shopping like they used to. Look at this. It says, U.S. importers and retailers of EU wine warn of closures, layoffs from tariffs. That's what we're about to face. I want to read something to you though. Listen to this. I think this is interesting because people always say, oh, I'm not going to be laid off. I've been at the company for 25 years, right? I'm the best friend of the CEO. I'm the best friend of my boss. Doesn't really matter. If you have a board and you have to satisfy the board, you have to get their approval for everything, it doesn't matter who you're friends with. You could be let go. Listen to this. Somebody wrote to me and said this, and I quote, "You would think that spending 21 years at the same company would mean they would be loyal to you, but that is not the case. I have brought in millions of dollars over the years, and I've helped build this company from a small 12-person operation to now over 200 people. But none of that matters in the end. My advice to anyone out there, loyalty goes out the window when it comes down to profits." Yeah, it goes out the window indefinitely. You're not going to see companies be loyal just because you've been there for many years, you brought in millions of dollars. They don't care. This is why the layoffs are happening. You think about all those school teachers that maybe they have children at the school. Doesn't matter. If you're not needed, right? There's budget cuts, too many employees, you're let go. That's it. There's nothing you can do. Look at this one as well. It says Samsung is halting investment in Mexico due to uncertainty over tariffs. So this isn't just hitting here in the United States. This is also hitting the Samsung facility in Tijuana as well. And keep this in mind. There's many people that live here in the United States, okay, that will go and work in Tijuana and vice versa. They'll live in Tijuana because it's cheaper, but they'll work here in the United States and drive back and forth. Yeah, it's one of the things we're seeing. But listen to this. Here's where things are taking a very interesting turn. One of the reports that I got the other day, and I'm going to touch on that probably sometime this week, is we are seeing people that have been in the company for years. The higher ups that are getting paid more, have all the benefits, right? Have the company car, the credit card, have so much in retirement. Those people, and that get a lot of hours, the PTO, the paid time off. They just accrue so many hours so quickly. What is now happening is companies are laying off those people because they cost more. Their wages are too high. Their benefits cost the company money. That's an issue. And then all the PTO, they're concerned that if they have that much paid time off, if they ever do lay them off, there's going to be a massive bill. A massive bill. Listen to this. This person wrote to me and says, and I quote, "And so it happened. I was let go this morning after 14 years of being a law professor. I was called into the university president's office this morning thinking that I was getting tenure, and that was not the case. He informed me that my days at the university are done, and due to lower donation amounts from alumni, they unfortunately have to make changes moving forward." Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, these mass layoffs are happening. Go and watch some YouTube shorts. Go and watch TikTok. You think these layoffs are only in large cities like Seattle, Washington, San Francisco, California, Chicago, Illinois, New York, Miami, Florida, Dallas, Texas? No. They're in every city across the US. These layoffs are actually starting to get bigger. There's larger layoffs. The people that are being laid off are going to have a greater impact on that company. We're seeing this from the federal government as well, where the people that have been let go, well, we're starting to see the changes. Again, I said this before and I'll say it again. There's going to be pain for the next several months. Even some economists say there's going to be pain for the next 2 years. I hope that's not the case, but again, we'll have to wait and find out. But that is what we know as of today. Right now, there is pain coming. It's going to hurt many people, especially lower income households. But just understand, it's happening because of tariffs, layoffs, what the previous administration has done and provided for the American people, which now we realize it was too much. And now we're pulling all that money back. So we'll see what happens, but that is what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.